Hello people and welcome to the madness that is Mac in VR. Hype for the release of PSVR 2 is building ahead of its 22nd February release window. So I've looked at the launch window game titles and picked my top 12 games that you should be looking out for. I'll be counting down from 12 to 1. I'll be naming my top 3 games that haven't been announced but that we need to see on PSVR 2 in 2023. So make sure you stay till the end of the video for that revelation. Are you hyped for PSVR 2? I know I am, so let's get straight into it then, and remember, we're born to respawn. PSVR 2 launches on the 22nd February 2023, and it brings a raft of features not yet seen on affordable consumer-level VR headsets. It has 4K HDR screens, it has eye tracking and foveated rendering for increased resolution, plus it has those amazing-looking controllers, haptic feedback for both your hands and head. Before I start, there is one noticeable absentee from this list, and that is Firewall Ultra. The highly anticipated sequel to Firewall 0 Hour has been confirmed for PSVR 2 and was expected to be a launch day title, but currently there is no release date and you're only able to wishlist the game on the Sony website, which is a shame. So, which launch day titles have caught my eye? Word of warning, a lot of these games are already available on other platforms, but I think the PSVR 2 versions could be the pinnacle of those launches. However, the last 3 titles are exclusives, so let's count down from number 12 to number 1 right now. In at 12 is The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. A bit of a mouthful, but a lot of game to get your zombie chops into. This is a direct sequel to 2020's Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's set in the same flooded New Orleans overrun with voracious zombies and crazed gangs of humans, but this time is bigger, bolder and bloodier. Though I was slightly disappointed with the Quest 2 version, the devs have reused a lot of the levels from the original game. I still believe that the PSVR 2 will be the definite version due to the 4K HDR screens, foveated rendering and use of those innovative haptics. In at 11 is Zenith, The Last City from Ramen VR, which has been out for over a year now on PC and Quest 2. It is a very well designed, deep RPG that has flourished since it was first released. Me and my friends played a lot of Zenith when it debuted, and this could be a fun distraction if you love the RPG grind, cool weapons, magic and character customization. Into the top 10 now, and we have one of my favourite games to play when you just want to chill out and relax. Kayak VR Mirage is an incredible looking game that uses photogrammetry to build the environments that you paddle through in your kayak. From the wild coastline of the Norwegian fjords in a thunderstorm to the glorious jungles of a tropical island, Kayak VR Mirage is a gorgeous, mesmerising experience, and for people that are a bit more vigorous, there is always the asynchronous time trial mode to get that adrenaline pumping. There is honestly nothing else like this game in VR and should definitely be on your watch list. At number 9 is the mercurial No Man's Sky. Universally panned at launch, the devs have stuck in and finally produced one of the most stunning, rich and rewarding space exploration games available. VR support was added in 2019 for PSVR and PC VR, and the PSVR 2 edition will be a free add-on for anyone who already owns the game on PS5. Prepare to lose hours in this absorbing space simulator. Number 8 is a bit of a surprise, as the MetaQuest exclusive Beat Saber will be finding a new home on this brand new VR headset. This game needs no explanation, as anyone who's into VR must have played this game at some point. A rhythm action masterpiece of block slashing and wall dodging, with the only question mark being whether it will support mods, which I very much doubt. Still, Beat Saber is a perennial favourite that is constantly being updated with new tracks and content to keep it fresh and relevant. You will be able to start slashing blocks on launch day, and I expect this to sell by the bucket load. Number 7 is one of my all-time favourite VR rhythm action games, the John Wick simulator that is Pistol Whip. This incredible game sees you progress through surreal landscapes while dodging incoming fire and dispatching your foes with rhythmic gunfire. I've covered Pistol Whip in numerous videos on my channel, and despite the game being over 3 years old, I still return weekly for a blast through my favourite levels. I'm excited to see what the PSVR 2 can bring to Pistol Whip with 4K HDR displays, eye tracking, foveated rendering and those amazing haptics. Definitely one to watch. Number 6 on our list, probably one of the most fun multiplayer games in VR, and that is the tabletop dungeon crawler Demeo. Get 3 friends together, pick your heroes and delve into the many dungeons available. The game supports crossplay, eye tracking, HDR, and all current DLC will be included at release. So, if you haven't yet delved into the druidical sanctum, and why wouldn't you? Demeo on PSVR 2 could be the definite version of the game so far. After the Fall drops in at number 5, and again, this title will make full use of the PSVR 2 Sense controller haptics, adaptive triggers, and will fully support crossplay, so you will be able to slaughter zombies with your friends across all platforms. Plus, if you already own the PSVR version of After the Fall, the PSVR 2 version will be a free upgrade, so hopefully you'll be able to bring all your upgraded guns across with you, which is a nice touch. In at number 4 is actually 2 games, Moss and Moss Book 2. Jump into the giant world of the adorable rodent warrior Quill as she's guided by her reader through treacherous but beautiful levels as she fights to save her world. Moss Book 2 was one of my highlights of 2022, so this updated version could be the definite addition. If you haven't already played the franchise, there is currently a bundle available on the Sony store where you can get Moss and Moss Book 2 for about £30 in the UK. However, unlike After the Fall, if you already own these games on PSVR, then this is not a free upgrade and you'll have to purchase them again, which is disappointing. Now, we are getting into the top 3, and unlike all of the games listed above, these games are Sony exclusive VR titles. I struggled to rank these 3 titles and flip-flop between which I was most hyped for before settling on this order. Breaking into the top 3 is Resident Evil Village. This glorious looking game is utilising all PSVR 2's strongest points to push the console to its limits in VR. This is the full Resident Evil Village experience, utilising the Sense controllers, haptics, adaptive triggers, plus eye tracking, foveated rendering to bring the glorious looking Madame Dimitrescu to life in all her beautiful, frightening, bloody glory. If you already own the game, the PSVR 2 version will be a free upgrade, so go grab a second-hand copy off eBay if you don't already have the game. I did. Number 2 on my list was the hardest decision to make, but eventually it came down to Horizon Call of the Mountain. After watching Mike from Virtual Reality Oasis, who got to play the game at a private event in London, and then stating that all he was excited about in 2023 was PSVR 2 and Horizon Call of the Mountain, well, that's a pretty big endorsement from a well-respected and trusted member of the VR scene. Call of the Mountain sees you step into the boots of a new protagonist in the series as you battle the giant dinosaurs that have destroyed your world. This is a full AAA campaign built from the ground up for VR and was the first title announced for Sony's new headset. Making full use of all the PSVR 2's cutting-edge features, Horizon Call of the Mountain is expected to be a system seller, and I am very hyped to jump in and feel that adaptive resistance when loosing arrows from that bow. So, which game is my number 1 most anticipated PSVR 2 title? Well, I'm a sim racing fanatic, so it had to be the recently announced VR upgrade for Gran Turismo 7. The amazing graphics, huge amount of racing circuits, huge amount of beautifully detailed racing cars, all in 4K HDR thanks to the eye tracking and foveated rendering. I have decided to go all in on GT7 and have already ordered the official Fanatec GT DD Pro wheel for my sim racing rig, which I have fully justified using the latest man maths techniques in my own head. Not sure how the wife will feel when the bill comes in, but hey, I can always live in the Mac cave. So there it is then, my top 12 PSVR 2 games that I am most hyped about. But which 3 games are missing from the list that I mentioned at the beginning of this video? First one is Contractors, with a caveat. It must allow all the wonderful mod levels that are currently available across all other platforms. It is the mod community that has turned Contractors from a tight, solid PvP experience into the joy that it is today. Want to play your favourite Call of Duty levels in VR? It's all there. Want to slaughter zombies in co-op battles with your friends? Yep, you can do that. Want to be able to jump 50 foot in the air and fight other Jedis with lightsabers? Yep, you can do that too. Contractors on PSVR 2 would be an amazing experience if they allow the mod scene to get involved. Hitman 3 on PC VR was a massive disappointment, basically just a nuts and bolts port of the PSVR version with no thought given to touch controllers or the abilities of more modern VR headsets. However, a full remake from the ground up with the new PSVR 2 in mind would bring a frankly massive amount of AAA content to the new headset and would bring in customers from across the VR community. I mean, Hitman 3 won the Steam VR title of the year in 2022, which it shouldn't have really, but there you go. Last but by no means least, people who do not have a VR-ready PC need to experience the masterpiece that is Valve's Half-Life Alyx. Even though this game is over 2 years old, visually and mechanically it stands head and shoulders above all other VR titles. It has immediately unforgettable characters, a great campaign which is visually stunning and involving, plus a very healthy mod scene. Sony need Half-Life Alyx on PSVR 2 and should be banging on Gabe Newell's door and begging on bended knee to get this game on their platform. But, as always, what do you think? Are there any games in my top 12 that you would replace? Is there a game not mentioned that you think is a must for PSVR 2? You know the drill. Get involved and comment down below. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. That was my knee.